Hey guys, I just want to talk about one concept or one word that I picked up. And so I was used to be in a very controlling church, and it basically, some people accuse it as a cult, and it had a lot of characteristic of a cult. And I learned a lot from being in that environment, that group. I was in it for 5 years, and I managed to basically extract myself and left. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was very controlling, and they basically had they were so, I guess they put their ideologies, they were so confident that they were on the right track that they lose focus of the people who were in the group. And you just became a cog in the wheel. And so I remember one word that they used to make sure you did not question their authority or question their ideology. And so this is a very important lesson I want you guys to all learn. So right now there's a battle in American politics where there's the conservative and the Republican, conservative and the Democrats, okay, and the liberals and whatever, right? Okay, so I'm more like a centrist or a libertarian. Like I do not believe in big government. I believe in capitalism, etc. But I want to point out one little important concept. And this concept is called loaded word, okay? And so it's how loaded word work is that it's a word that carries multiple meaning and is to attack your own inner belief system so that you are no longer sure about yourself. Now, I'm shooting this video and I might go more in depth into it, but the word that was used a lot and thrown to me a lot when I was in this church group was spiritual pornography. Okay, and so whenever we read a book or a pamphlet or something from a different Christian organization, and then we would bring it to our minister or whatever, and we asked them like, hey, they have a slightly different teaching, or they say that what we're doing is cultish or too controlling. The minister a lot of time will come up to us and say it's spiritual pornography, or they'll attack us and say, listen, like you doubt what we're trying to do, or you don't believe in our mission, or they'll even say there's sin in your life. You do not love God enough, right? And therefore you're not committed to the cause. So let's look at this word, spiritual pornography, right? So they take something that's super important to us. So in this church group, we all wanted to be spiritual, right? So they'll use this word, like, hey, brother, are you praying? You know what I mean? Are you being spiritual, right? And so they made it into a highly sought after prize, okay? And then they will throw a word that's so jarring to our intellect, to our being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one want to be caught reading pornography. You know what I mean? No one want to be saying like, I'm entertained by pornography, etc. So what they do is they combine the two words together. And so you're seeing being used right now in politics, like white supremacy or patriarchy, or what, etc. There's all these words, right? And what you want to look for is this, like, what does this word mean? And it might mean something, but look into the deeper meaning. It triggers something in your mind emotionally. It tells you, oh, you should not question that ideology, or you should not be so confident about your existence, right? Like white supremacy, or you're a white supremacist, or you're ally to the white. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times Asian people will be accused of allying to the white because, in a way, we are very high earning income, we're two parents household, etc., right? And so they would attack you on a very emotional, intellectual, and virtuous level. So a lot of us want to be virtuous. The last thing we want to be accused of is that we don't care about all mankind. We don't care about our brothers or sisters or family. We don't care about our community, right? So we hold that to very high self-esteem. So they take something that's so important to us and then they reverse engineer and attack it back to us. You know what I mean? And so I want you guys to understand that these people try to be virtuous, and they know that for you, you want to be virtuous, and then they make it more extreme, and they say they are more virtuous than you, and if you don't follow their ideology, it's because of blah blah blah. And then they'll use maybe one word or two word or three word to attack your psyche, to attack you so that you do not feel confident about your existence. Okay, so when I was in this church group, I was probably 20. When I left, I was like 27. But I remember one instance where this, we I lived in Toronto, so rent was very expensive, and the church encouraged us to have roommates, and preferably roommates close to our same age group. That way we can split up the rent. And roommates who also attend the church, because that way we all do church activity together. We can carpool, etc. So I remember one time, one of my roommate, he was still in college, young guy, very passionate about the ideology of what the church was teaching. And we would invite this one guy over, and we would talk about the Bible and crap like that. And the guy basically questioned what we believed in and didn't buy into what we were saying. And my roommate went like ape shit on him, like went crazy, right? And basically accused him of you don't have the right teaching. You may believe in something, but it's not 100% correct. What we have is the right method, right way. Everyone else is doing it wrong. And so, very similar in politics. You know what I mean? The more crazy, if someone goes crazy and start attacking you, not through logic, not through data, but more through you personally, like you're a bad person because you do not believe in what I believe in. You're a horrible person because you read this book, or you follow this philosophy, or you support this person. They start attacking you. And then they start telling you that you're bad and your children are bad, or you come from a bad family, or you're responsible for the death of all these people that you don't even know, or you weren't even around at that time. When I was part of this church group, they told us their goal was to have one church in every major city in the world. And they pushed us so hard for it. And if we question them, right, we you know what? We just can't do it. I'm really busy. They would try to get us to go to different cities and eventually plant a church, start an organization, church organization in that major city, and we would volunteer for it. And sometimes some of us don't want to do it, and they'll belittle us. They'll say, you don't love God, or you don't love Jesus, or whatever, right? The funny thing is, once you start looking at fanaticals, people who attack you because you don't hold the same ideology or value as them, they all follow the same playbook. They attack you not through logic, not through reason. They attack you personally. They tell you that you don't deserve to be who you are, right? They make you question your existence. They make you question your children's existence or your family's existence. The minute you question and fall into that, that's when they got you. I'm 50 years old now, and I see through all that bullshit. And so I watch carefully. I teach martial art. I do martial art. Sometimes I find myself caught into that trap where I believe what I teach is better. And a lot of times I can prove it empirically, right? But sometimes I hear other martial instructors. When I first started, they would tell me, what you're doing is not good, blah, blah, blah. And it was just a personal experience. They didn't have any data. Now, ironically, 10 years later, 20 years later, I've been doing martial art for 27 years. I've been teaching for 18. I'm glad I stood my ground because what I'm doing surpassed what they told me I couldn't do. They're still trapped in this little time warp. Anyways, guys, let's get back to my point. The word I want to use again is called loaded word. Okay, and I will I'll probably think back of all the loaded word that was used against me when I was part of this church, and also in the political system. Okay, but the loaded word that was thrown at a lot of us, a lot of times, when we read information outside of what the church gave us, was spiritual pornography. You know what I mean? And so if you look at the political spectrum, I find it more so on the very like left-wing side, they would use loaded word. You know, they would try to mess with you emotionally. They will try to cause you to question your existence. You know what I mean? They will try to tell you that you're responsible for this. Or if you do this, this is what's going to happen, right? And there's no data to back it up. So anyways, guys, please comment, please like, and I hope you guys learn a lot from my videos. I hope to shoot more videos like this, and I hope to inspire, encourage, educate, motivate, give insights. And thank you so much for watching.